everyone, and welcome to TWF Rampage or Ramfru. I, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Paulie Dangerously here. And today on Collision or Hit, we're gonna have a good show here today because we're gonna start off. We got Seth Rollins here today on Collision or Hit. And Seth Rollins has his ongoing bind with Medusa, Tony Schiavone says. You got that right, Jim Ross, says Tony Schiavone. Seth Rollins seems to have a bind with Medusa, and he's beat Medusa at least 2 times in 2 matches here, Jim Ross said. I tell you right now, Tony and Jim, Seth Rollins is lucky, that Medusa never shifted him into stone. Because if so, we wouldn't be here talking to him today if that was true, Paulie Dangerously says. Well, I guess so. And now, here comes Seth Rollins now. So it seems that Medusa is against me since this doll of mine came from Big Lots. And I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. Because Medusa thinks she only came from Amazon or Strong Woman. That's not true. The first Medusa doll we got came from Game Again, a shop that sold and drafted in, films and games and film games and dolls. It's no longer around anymore. After COVID happened, it shut down in 2020 YL, and that was it. So Medusa can stop behaving as if she's so more greater than everyone else, because not every doll can come from Walmart or Target. The truth is, we don't really got anything in this house that did come from Target or Gold. A lot of things either came from Ollie's or came from Big Lots or Walmart. Some of it came from the Vinlander Thrift Middle or the Glassport Thrift Middle or the Goodwill, Gift and Thrift Middle or the Salvation Army and Helping Fighting on Give and Thrift Middle. So you know how that goes, right? So I'm not done with you, Medusa. Not at all. Well, looks like Seth Rollins is bind, with Medusa. It looks like that is still going on here. So, Seth Rollins, at the end of the day, you think that you uncovered some kind of hidden? Yeah, the first doll of me came from Game Again at the end of 2006 between FYL from the Percy Jackson films. But this offshoot of me came from Amazon. I believe it been 2020 YL or 2021 YL. So it still makes me greater than you. My first doll of me came from Amazon or Strong Woman. The other dolls of me, I believe, came from Walmart. And there need be this doll of me came from Big Lots. So I got you beat, Medusa, because all three dolls of mine all came from unlike shops. Well, Seth Rollins, I'm going to beat you. You thought you were so funny for beating me, but Seth Rollins, I am one foe you'll never get the upper hand on, that you'll never beat. Well, looks like we got Jeremy Pickles. I am not making that up. That is his kin name, Tony Schiavone said. he's been a fight lord in the toy wrestling gathering since between 98 YL when he got bought from Walmart. And that's right, Tony Schiavone said. That's right, Jim Ross said, making him one of the oldest fight keepers here in the toy wrestling gathering, Jim Ross says. Well, we're going on this, Paulie Dangerously says. Didn't the first Jim Ross doll we get was made from Jakks and between 97 YL though? And then, you know, you had your fucked up glasses that had Roswar shirt on. You know, you were going around, you had Stephen Williams beating up folks. You know what, Jim Ross said, I don't need to talk about my first hill run in WWF or my 20th hill run in WWF either. You know, we're not going to talk about that. And Seth Rollins right now, in the bind, Tony Schiavone says, with Medusa, the former two-time TWF Allegheny Share fighter. And Medusa got body slammed it again. And Seth Rollins' doll came from Amazon or Strong Woman. The other one may have came from Big Lots, Walmart, I guess. The other one came from Big Lots. And, you know, and Seth Rollins can't help, that's where his doll came from, Tony Schiavone says. Medusa picked up Seth Rollins and slammed him down an awkward, I guess, body slam or suplex or whatever it was, Jim Ross says. Well, Paulie Dangerously says, this offshoot of me came from Walmart, and the other offshoot of me came from Walmart too. Don't got no up-to-date one? No, this is like the greatest one I ever got of myself. And Medusa right now is going to beat up Seth Rollins. And we're not talking about Medusa Alonja Blades. We're not talking about the former AWA Women's Heavyweight Fighter, three-time WF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, one-time WCW Heavyweight Fighter, or one-time W24/7 Fighter. We're not talking about her at all. You know? And Medusa took down Seth Rollins. Now, Tony Schiavone said, if I know Hellenist folklore, the only way you can beat Medusa is by cutting her head off, Tony Schiavone says. This is a doll, Jim Ross said. You cut her head off, that's it. You'd have to throw her out because the over sticky ooze probably couldn't keep her head on, and the sticky film probably couldn't keep her head on either. Look out, Paulie Dangerously said, here she comes, Seth Rollins. Curve stomped it down Medusa when she came to the top steeple, Tony Schiavone said. This is over, Jim Ross says. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Here is your winner. Seth freaking Rollins, or Seth Rollins, or Seth F. Rollins. If you want to use the F for freaking, like he's got a middle name or a nickname, Paulie Dangerously says. I didn't give it to him. My time of being in WWE crafting came and went. Well, it seems to be that Seth Rollins, once again, my time in WWE crafting came and went. 2001 YL to 2006 YL. 2009 between for 2020 YL. Paulie Dangerously says, so I had nothing to do with booking or writing anymore, and World Wrestling League. Well, that's good to know, Tony Schiavone says. And Seth Rollins beat Medusa here today on Collision or Hit. Tony Schiavone says, it was a great match. Yes, it was a great match or a great fight, Jim Ross says. And once again, Seth Rollins has beat Medusa here today on Collision or Hit. And when some of us can't help that we all didn't come from Walmart or Target or Go or Amazon or Strong Woman, that some of us had to come from Ollie's or Big Lots or whatever. Jim Ross says, I can tell you one thing right now, Paulie Dangerously says, Medusa isn't going to be done with this. Seth Rollins needs to watch his back, because sooner or later Medusa is going to get even with all these losses. Alright, Tony Schiavone said, Paulie Dangerously, you made your thought known. Take it away, Gorilla Monsoon. thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Seth Rollins, here today on Collision or Hit. Alright, Seth Rollins, it seems that things haven't quite gone the way you wanted them to go. Well, Gorilla Monsoon, first off, dealing with Medusa and her bullshit, it's not cool. See, Medusa hates me, has a bind with me since I came from Big Lots. But my first doll came from Amazon or Strong Woman. My 2-diff doll came from Walmart, and my 3-diff doll here came from Big Lots. Well, that's true, Gorilla Monsoon said. My doll came from Amazon or Strong Woman and 2010 YL. And you know something? Who cares what shop you come from? And at the end of the day, why Medusa is giving you a hard time over this is beyond me. Because Medusa is a bully. Medusa's a troll. She's a hater. That's why she's doing it. But I know how to deal with bullies and trolls and haters, both on and off the interweb. They're really weaklings. Folks who have low self, who think lowly of themselves, for whatever ground's sake or why, and then think the only way they can make themselves feel greater is by bullying or trolling someone else. Well, I will not be bullied, I will not be trolled. And sooner or later, when Medusa learns that and leaves me alone, then I'll be a more happier man. Well, Seth Rollins, we can only hope that Medusa will learn to leave you alone. We can only hope that, Gorilla Monsoon. And you had to deal with folks that never really learned that. I mean, you dealt with Jesse Ventura and Bobby Heenan and Jerry Lawler and Ted DiBiase. Oh yes, I dealt with those folks, and sadly, they never did learn that class. Well, sadly, I know how it is to deal with folks that never learn, that being a bully and a troll and a hater never works. Well, that's my talk with Seth Rollins. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with Seth Rollins here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and Paulie Dangerously. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, or Walonday Night Raw.